President wishes for harmony and happiness in his New Year message.
ඔබ සෑම කෙනෙකුටම මේ ලැබුණ අවසර සියලු ආකාරයේ වඩාත් වාසනාවන්ත සුබවාදී සතුටින් නිදහසේ ජීවත් වෙ හැකි වසරක් වේවායි කියලා මම සුබ පතනවා.
Mahanayaka of the Askari chapter makes a request for the new year.
විපත්තිකර අවස්ථාවන්ගෙන් ඈත් වෙලා රටේ සාමය ගෙන දෙන කටයුතු සිදු කිරීමට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න ඕනේ.
Sri Lanka cricket elections will go ahead as planned, statement from the Minister of Sports.
Increased nation building tax in effect from today.
A very good evening and welcome to 2016's first primetime news bulletin on MTV and Shakti TV. I'm Ramesh Irugal Bandara, joined by Aishwarya Pinto. On behalf of the Newsfirst management and editorial team, we wish to thank all our loyal viewers a blessed and prosperous 2016.
We also wish our online community, especially those subscribing to Newsfirst.lk and our other social media platforms.
And on that note, let's move on to the first local stories of 2016. On the news tonight, President Maithripala Sirisena, adding his wishes for the new year, made a special announcement.
ආයුබෝවන් වාසනාවන්ත සුබ නව වසරක් වේවා කියලා මම මුලින්ම ආශිර්වාද කරනවා.
First and foremost, I would like to wish everyone a very happy and prosperous new year. I also wish that may all your activities in the coming year be successful in every way. Let us also make this country, our motherland, one of the most beautiful and attractive as well as the greatest nation in the world. All lives matter, and let us make those lives more beautiful and more successful. Let us also create an environment that will enable us to forge towards that. Let us all unite and work together to make these dreams and wishes come true. Once again, may I wish each and every one of you a bright, happy, joyful and prosperous new year. May the noble triple gem bless you.
සුබ පතනවා ආශිර්වාද කරනවා ඔබට තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
Invoking blessings to the nation for the new year, the chief prelate of the Siam sect of the Askari chapter, Most Venerable Galgama Sri Atadasi Thero, made a special statement.
ලැබුණා වර්ෂය ඊගාම වාසනාවන්ත අවුරුද්දක් වේවා.
Let the dawned new year be prosperous. Let there be peace and harmony among all communities. People of all societies should live in peace at all times, and we should practice this. We need to keep away from harmful acts and work towards bestowing peace and prosperity towards the nation.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and opposition leader R. Sambandhan also issued their New Year greetings.
The Prime Minister says that the New Year dawns with the refreshing promise of a new era which celebrates the emerging of a nation that understands and comprehends the true meaning of freedom from oppression. The Prime Minister adds that we enter 2016 on a note of hope and abundance as a country fortifying its economic, social and political strength. Issuing his New Year message, opposition leader R. Sambandhan says that a nation bursting with peace and prosperity should be created while respecting the views and diversity of the religions, races, languages, cultures and identities. The opposition leader goes on to state that the dawn of the new year gives dawn to fresh hopes and calls the people of Sri Lanka to cast aside their differences and to unite by respecting each other's freedom and rights to create an undivided nation. Issuing his New Year message, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa says it is our duty to work towards the national goals that we have set for ourselves. He adds that it is necessary for us to safeguard the environment that we created to enable people of all nationalities and religions to live in peace and harmony in one country.
President Maithripala Sirisena met with the locals from Polonnaruwa following the dawn of the year.
President Maithripala Sirisena arrived at the Politisi Buddhi Mandapa in Polonnaruwa and wished the locals for the new year.
මේ රටේ බිහි වෙච්ච සෑම නායකයෙක්ම
All the leaders who were created rendered their services in their respective areas. They did good for the country and did not do any negative impact into the country. In this era, the responsibility of you and I are to make this country one of the greatest countries in the world. During the past 1 year, even though some things that could be felt by the people did not take place, the government passed the 19th Amendment to the Constitution to strengthen the democracy, freedom and happiness of the people of this country. President Maithripala Sirisena also read out a poem from a book presented by former Principal of Royal College Colombo, Tikiri Bandara.
රටදය සමය රැකූමට දිවීව පුදමී ජනහිත සුව පිණිස තනතුරු අත් හලෙමි යහපාලනය තුල මගේ මව්විම රකිමි මම ඔබේ සුහද සේවක මිස රජු නොවෙමි.
Unfortunately, several accidents were reported from areas around the country today as well, following the dawn of the new year.
A bus accident in Panchikavatta Maradana at around 5:20 this morning left 13 persons injured. The office of the police media spokesperson said that a bus plying from Gampaha to Colombo had crashed onto another bus heading to Katunayaka. We hooted the horn. The driver of the Gampaha bus did not hear it. He came fast and knocked onto the bus, and that bus toppled over. The injured persons were admitted to the National Hospital in Colombo. One person was left injured in a collision between two cars in the Mahayava area on the Kandy Katukastara road this morning. Police said that the accident was the result of one of the drivers losing control of the speed. 3 persons were injured in an accident between a lorry and a bus early this morning in Morawakanda, Nocheyagama on the Anuradhapura Putlam main road. The lorry had crashed onto the rear of a bus that was parked. The injured were admitted to the Anuradhapura General Hospital. A fire truck which was travelling on the Chilao-Colombo main road this morning met with an accident when it veered off the road. The accident took place when the driver lost control of the wheel and he sustained minor injuries. 68 persons were admitted to the accident ward at the National Hospital during the 7-hour time period from midnight to 7 this morning. 32 persons were injured in motor accidents while others were victims of various mishaps. 6 accidents relating to fireworks were reported during the first frame. According to records at the National Hospital on the 30th and the 31st of 2014, 531 persons were admitted to the accident ward, and in 2015 that number had increased to 551, which is a 20% increase compared to 2014. During the same time period in 2014, 91 persons were admitted following motor accidents, and that figure jumped to 135 for 2015.
When it comes to the road traffic accidents, I have to mention it specially that there is a 32% increase in road traffic accidents, and at the same time it is happy that number of injuries due to crackers has come down. Maybe parents and adults are paying more attention towards preventing these activities, playing especially with crackers and all. So that is a good sign.
Sri Lankans celebrated the dawn of 2016 with much enthusiasm and joy.
Large crowds gathered to Colombo to herald the new year. Golfers Green, a popular beachside venue in Colombo, was alive with festive cheer. There was much excitement among people in Galle who had gathered for celebrations. Mount Leonia Beach was lit up for celebrations. With the dawn of the new year, devotees flocked to the temple of the sacred tooth relic in Kandy to receive blessings for new beginnings. Our reporter said religious activities took place at the temple throughout the day. Large crowds were also seen at the historic Munnesaram Kovil to receive blessings for the new year. Blessings of vehicles at the Kovil was a significant feature today. Large crowds also visited the Thanivella Devalaya in Chilao for blessings. Christians also engaged in religious activities on the first day of the new year. People were seen taking part in the New Year Mass at St. Francis Xavier Church in Katana. Devotees arrived at the Hunupiche Gangaramya temple to receive blessings for 2016.
Kurumankudu Kaliamman Kovil in Vavuniya also held a special puja to welcome the new year. The Sinigama Devil Devale also held a special almsgiving today.
Minister of Sports Dayasiri Jayasekara says that the Sri Lanka cricket election will take place as planned.
The SLC elections are to take place on Sunday, and several incidents surrounding the elections were reported in the recent days. Yesterday, the Supreme Court permitted several rejected nominations to contest the Sri Lanka cricket elections. As an issue arose over the voting rights of the Matale District Cricket Association, the 2 votes they own were cancelled.
The elections are in 2 days' time. We hope to convene the AGM on Sunday. All must be in their seats by 9 a.m. We will not take any responsibility over the arrival after 10 a.m. We hope to conclude this by 10 a.m. Police will coordinate a special security detail. Only one entrance will be opened at the Sports Ministry. Ministerial security officers, private security and armed security will not be allowed to enter. We will not allow anyone to enter with a mobile phone.
The minister added that on Sunday at the AGM, it will be decided as to whether the rejected nominations can contest the SLC elections as per the Supreme Court order. The Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division has been asked by the Minister of Sports to investigate an attempt to convince 2 Sri Lankan cricketers to fix a match.
Kusal Janit and Rangana Herath have complained that they were approached by bookies. There are 2 persons involved and 1 person used to bowl at practice nets. I do not understand why Sri Lanka cricket did not probe into these claims. I have reported this to the FCID and I believe that they will make the arrest and question those persons. These are not the sharks by the smaller fish. The bigger fish are around them. If the person who is coming to bowl is calling to fix a match, who is training him? The bowling coach. I will also look into this. I was surprised. How can such persons be in here?
මේ අය කොහොමද මේක ඇතුලේ ඉන්නේ කියලා. Well, the Presidential Commission of Inquiry into Serious Acts of Fraud and Corruption has commenced an investigation in connection to a large-scale rice fraud at Satosa. Following an inquiry held today, the Commission sealed a rice storage facility in Veyangoda belonging to Satosa.
Secretary to the Presidential Commission of Inquiry into Serious Acts of Fraud and Corruption, Lasel De Silva, said that the Commission has commenced an investigation over the large-scale fraud being carried out on the excess rice stocks imported to the country by Satosa and currently at the Colombo Harbour and other storage facilities. Officers from the Commission today inspected 201 containers in Sedawatha, Colombo and the storage in Veyangoda owned by the Department of Food, which are suspected to be housing the stock of rice in question.
We are investigating the irregularities that have taken place when importing rice to the country in 2014. Cabinet had permitted to import 50,000 metric tons. However, 250,000 metric tons of rice was imported. They have deviated from the accepted procedure. This is supposed to be a government transaction, but it has not followed accordingly. A private company had imported the rice to the country. These stocks of rice are from India and Bangladesh and are not suitable for human consumption.
Rural Economic Development Minister P. Harrison, recently speaking to the media, made a revelation on the stock of rice in question.
During the recent presidential elections, Satosa had imported over 200,000 metric tons of rice into the country. Over 75,000 metric tons of rice are still at the Satosa stores.
More business news, a bit of bad news for the consumers island-wide. The nation building tax, or NBT, which was increased by the new budget, came into effect today.
Accordingly, the prices of some goods and services will be revised from today.
Budget 2016 increased the nation building tax from 2% to 4%. The prices of cigarettes have already been increased by ₹1 or 2. The Director General of the Department of Fiscal Policy, A.K. Seniviratne, said that the tax hike will also impact the telecommunication sector. However, he said the decision to increase telecommunication rates lies with service providers. Seniviratne said the nation-building tax will not be imposed on essential food items and water bills. Further, the Ports and Airport Development Levy will increase from 5% to 7.5% today onwards. The changes would require an additional ₹15,000 to be paid to banks per motor vehicle at the time letters of credit or LCs for importation is opened. For three-wheelers and motorbikes, it's ₹2,000. Meanwhile, the stamp duty levied on credit card usage will be removed from today.
The Voice Against Corruption lodged a complaint with the Anti-Corruption Secretariat.
The representatives from the Voice Against Corruption organisation visited the office of the Anti-Corruption Secretariat in Colombo and filed a complaint regarding Sri Lanka customs. After the 8th of January 2015, the country has lost over 5,000 million rupees to the vehicles being imported through various rackets via the customs. The vehicles are being undervalued when they are brought down. Likewise, the margin in the price from Japan and the price presented to the customs reveals the large-scale loss the country has incurred as a result. Over 5,000 million rupees has been deprived from the public welfare. Commence investigations into this immediately.
Well, that's a wrap of Primetime News for tonight. We urge you to stay with us during 2016 as well. An action-packed year, hopefully, ahead for the news team and the country as well. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Ramesh Irugal Bandara. I'll be failing in my task if I don't mention Newsfirst.lk. You can read up on any of the stories that we aired tonight on the website.
I'm Aisha Pinto. Have a pleasant year ahead of you. Good night.
Good night.